Good morning, traders, and welcome to the live trading webinar today with JTrader, stocks trader. We do this every Wednesday. JTrader does come in a little bit later. I think he'll be in before 10:20. But JTrader, he will be in shortly, and we usually go through a little bit of S&P analysis beforehand. And then he's finishing up as he's finishing up his trading room. And then he'll be over and go through some live trading with the stocks. You guys know who JTrader is. I've got his contact information. He offers mentorship and education. If you want to reach him, you can email him, or you've got these other methods as well. Disclosures, we need to go through these. These are important. It is live trading, but it is in demo mode, and it's only for educational purposes. It's not a trade recommendation nor a trading room here whatsoever. It is about using this information together with order flow, your order flow analysis, and your trading strategies to understand or get insight from other traders, how they're trading and their considerations, and then how you may add that into or at least ponder. It gives you some sort of insight or understanding from someone else, and that is invaluable in my opinion. So let's go through it. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let's jump in. All right, we'll look at the S&P and look at this move to the upside. Beautiful. Right up into high liquidity, looking for 3,800 next, and lots of buying coming in. Let's just zoom in here and take a quick look. Are they getting filled here? Yep, they certainly are. Liquidity staying in the order book. It is filling here. 408 contracts right there, and some others as well. We're probably going to see some stops and icebergs here as well, and we are. So a bit of a pullback here at the moment, but still looking for more buyers to come back up and revisit this area and try to pop it up into the figure here at 3,800. Okay, this is actually pretty typical behavior. To see it trade just shy of it into high liquidity and then immediately get a pullback like this. But due to some of the things that we covered yesterday, for example, and in market structure, we're looking to see like this structure here turning into this one here. So this is a pullback at the moment. And looking to see if we can get back up here around 96.5. Get some buying and then get the pop up into the 3,800. All right, so that's kind of where we're just going through the current order flow here. Let's go through some details in it, and what gives this gives us more of an edge in here. Well, we talked about it yesterday in detail. First off, we know the cluster of buying up here, and it's pretty consistent buying here, and then also through here. So looks pretty good. Looking for the book to support it. Now see how the book is changing now? See how it's kind of bluish underneath here at this higher level? This is good. This is what we're looking for. Now we're looking for our aggressive buyers here. We're looking for our green dots or a lack of selling in here, lack of red dots. Okay, so let's see if we can get that. The sellers are trading into this liquidity here. Okay, so here, some at 93.
Hello, Bruce. Good morning, trader.
Good morning, Joseph. How are you? Oh, did I lose you?
Okay.
All right.
Bruce, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Are you ready to start?
Yes. Let me If you can share your screen, and then I'll
Absolutely.
broadcast it here.
Okay, let me fix this 1 second.
Guys, still looking for a bump out of this area here. It's just really probing back down into these lower areas here, but this is kind of point of control or most traded area in here. So let's see if we can find our buyers down in these areas here after some stop runs, beautiful stop runs here. Anyway, Joseph is up. Let's go over it. I've got his screen. Let me pop it out and put it onto the main screen here. All right, you're all set to go, Joseph.
Okay, good morning, traders. So today we're going to have a lesson on reversals. And I announced before also on our tweet that we will be looking at the use of Bookmap together with the main level of supply and demand. So right now I'm on a trade on ebook, and I want to explain over here the entire process. So the first thing, I start looking at the daily chart, right? If I'm looking at the big cap, I may even look at the weekly chart. For example, if I take a Bitcoin, I will look at the weekly chart, right? But in this case, I'm trading ebook, which I know that a gap in the last 2 years, so I already have my levels. And how to, I would say, select the most important levels to trade. Now, we don't need any kind of specific indicator. So I'm going to, for example, cancel all these indicators over here and just focus really on the supply and demand. So the levels that in the past worked as point of reversal, or if intersection. Intersection in the sense that if we have a trend line and we start taking a trend line, so all the next over here pops into that level will be a level of intersection. So it's using a trade pattern, which is rejection of the trend line in case we want to short over here on pops. At the same time, that level of rejection will be together with use of Bookmap to spot if we have resistance. All right. So putting things together like forming a puzzle. This is my trend line today. And we can see that in the last period over here, even because we had a nice gap over here, right? We had a bounce over here on ebook. Now it's time for me to put the level of resistances. I'm not going to put all of them, just only the most important ones. So I have the peak over here. And this peak also is this dip over here, this pop, this pop. So this is a nice level of supply. Level of supply that often will be in agreement with Bookmap. If we have a setup, please alert me. Then I put this level over here, which is a relative high. I'm going to put also over here these levels. So I'm going to prefer these levels into a half low number like 450. But then if I see a lot of dips over here, for example, 430, you see all these dips, that is an important level of resistance. Now this is becoming the most interesting part. So we can see over here that we had an important peak, right? So that 369, I'm going to put over here my level of resistance. Then I can continue. So we're going to continue a little bit more. So I have over here dips before the gap fill, right? And this is exactly around 330. So you can see over here a dip. You can see over here a pop. You can see over here a pop. And then we can have another one over here at this level. So many dips. We can see over here, this is also a level of gap fill. And then we can see more at this level. So all these tops, right? I call tops, I mean the pops in this case. And this is this morning ebook. So we're talking about a small cap company. We're talking about a stock that lives through dilution. We have nothing special in the stock. And what I'm looking to do, traders, is looking for ideal short on this. All right. So that was my plan this morning. I then refer to an intraday or 4-hour chart. Intraday could be, for example, an hourly chart, 50-minute chart, but I also look at, in this case, the 4-hour chart, and I look for those levels. Once I've done this, I can go to a 1-minute or a 5-minute chart and start looking at the price section. So over here this morning, you can right away understand why I took my short at the level of 340s, 350s. So in this case, we have the pop over here. You see the mid-morning squeeze. This is like a typical pattern into the previous high, right? So this over here area. And at the same time, we had the price over here. You can see it's still like growing with a lot of volume. Over here, we have some sweep. So really some stop orders triggered. And then what happened over here? We have the shift. After this big bubble, we have the shift between buyers and sellers. Exhaustion of the move over here at 350, so they peak above the 350. The importance of having these $half numbers, and then they wash it over here. Big sweep, stop loss order triggered, and this unwinds. And if you ask me, why, Jay, we see these green dots? So Bruce is, I would say, always more precise in the terminology, so always refer to what he says. But this is, for example, a clear scenario where we have long buyers over here that they're buying the break of 350. They're buying after pumper calls and I would say news on chat rooms. They're buying because they reclaim the VWAP. And it's a typical scenario where buyers are stopping out, and then you will see the sweep indicator over here, I would say triggering. Now what you can see that at that level of 350, we see a high level of supply over here. So over here we have sellers already placed on the book. All right, is this what actually you see over here in Bookmap? This morning I strained because I didn't take short. Even I wanted to take the short over here, and there's only a reason why I didn't take short, because I was long over here. So I can share my chart. Well, I share my chart already, but I explain why I got this this long. Let me see over here if I can get the chart. 1 second, traders. So it's just important to show you the reason behind the process. Okay, not really, you made $200, $2,000, $20,000. I don't really care about that. You're here over here now to learn the process, and that's for me is the most important thing. So I just want to show you 1 second the executions over here, for example. And over here you can see that we long, right? And then we look to sell over here, sell over here. This was a stop where I wanted to short, but being that I was long, and sorry, in this case we are long, and we were like looking to master, I would say to master at best our trade. So to trail our trade, we were not able to flush and get a short, like for example members are doing over here. All right. So this is just to show you execution over here and what has been playing this morning. So right now, I wanted to show you traders the reason why over here I said this was a short. So typical level of resistance of pre-market where we pushed into a level of 5 liquidity. And then over here, you have the shift, okay? I call the shift over here. When basically we have like buyers, at a certain point over here, buyers are stalling. So you have like, the passing over here of the, I would say, of who is in control from buyers over here to sellers, right? And this is where they, the control, the liquidity passes, right? Is it clear, traders, this? Any question? Okay, just give me like...
Can you cover it again, Joseph, just one more time?
Okay. So, when we have morning gappers news, by the way, we have to also look at CDU because I'm looking at long over here all morning, and then I will explain my process. So when we have a morning pattern of extension pullback, right? So we have a first extension, then a pullback. And then this pullback generally tend to go on a previous support. Remember the daily support, Bruce and guys, that we were looking at daily chart. This is one of them. And you see how we dip on that support. So those levels that I said before are important is for this reason. And what I see over here, 330, I don't see only the level that I saw on the daily. This is, I would say, confirmed, right, from the heat map that I will see over there. And once I start seeing these buyers over here, see this buyer? So trying to prop over here the bid. It's actually at this level. At that level, I longed. All right, I longed and pushed upside. They had over here a breakout of 390, clear out of this level, boom, right away they dumped it. Right now I'm short. I believe this is gonna probably short. You see over here also the cross and the curl down.
Yeah.
So for me, the next target will be $3 that I'm waiting over here on traders on ebook, and this is gonna be my A plus setup.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Joseph, to get you to repeat that, but it's just really good stuff, and it's just very, very clear. You're looking at your market structure, your higher time frames, and then you're looking at the order flow to verify this trade idea, and nicely articulated.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Now, the last part of this chart, we explained it before, pushing to the high liquidity area. We have over here a ton of exhaustion on this move. I really saw it. I was looking at the tape and I really see the shift over here. We had a lot of like buyers trying to push, but then each time a big sellers was jumping in. And we saw this even at the previous level at 340, right? With this heat map over here. But they really waited the clear out over here, the VWAP. They wanted the clear out at 350. So the important of those half dollar numbers, which is this level over here, you can see the break of 350, right away dumped it. Okay. So from a normal little, I would say, trade, you start getting a big, big, big wash. And this is the market we are right now. So you may start, with a very low risk area because I was risking this 360, and now this trade came down over here to a level of 3. I'm looking for $2.95, $3 for the first covers, and then I'm looking for more around 250. So we'll see if the volume will start to rise or if it will be lowering like this, and then I'm gonna simply hold. We have an intraday support over here, so some little bit of demand around 3,305. You can see also that here our heat map, so we need a clear down of this, and then wash to this 280 would be ideal into this level over here. The daily support, the next daily support is at 260. So I think that is a pretty good level for us to do. I was looking at Tesla all morning. And my plan was very simple. I said ES is going to possibly push to hourly J lines. Oh, Tesla made the same. ES over here is pushing into that area. I called the 3800. Apple over here did the same thing. Amazon did the same thing. And Meta did the same thing. So what I was looking over here this morning was more for a pattern of cup pattern, a push, and now starting to fit. But I want to go on CDU. SIDU. What stock is this, traders? Do you know this stock? Did you trade this in the past? Well, CDU is a small cap. Over here we have, I can tell the float was around 7 million float. They have very no cash. They have no dilution on. Then I start looking at the stats. So they have SSR. The news over here is a teammate, I would say, a contract agreement. Remember, contract agreement with NASA. Gap stats, we had one gap over here with my stats, which is above 20%, and it closed red on the day, right? So what I saw over here this morning was a lot of absorption. And we'll see what is absorption on all these dips. So this level over here, this gray line that I'm pointing, this 290, is the pre-market high. So I want to be very clear on this, okay? I want to be very clear on this. Let's look over here 1 second. Want to be very clear on this. Let me see. This morning, my plan was only to look long on CDU. But why? So we have a stock with small float, and that's the first reason. we have news, we have set pumps on, we have a stock with no dilution, we have a stock with high volume in SSR, short seller restriction. We had a stock that is holding daily levels, intraday levels plus absorption. I mean, why I have to have an headache today, Bruce, that I don't want? Okay, I don't want to take a moment. So the point for me was to look for dips. I long the majority of these dips. A lot of these were scratches, 2-3 cent stop or a couple cents win. I took a good one over here and a good one pre-market. I missed this over here at 10:10 because I was connecting with you guys, but I want to show you the absorption. So you see this level over here, 288, right? That 288 is, I would say, the level of pre-market high. Now, this level is often like the shift between buyers and sellers, all right? So above you'll see breakout traders, below you'll see, say, sellers, short sellers. Over here we had another absorption, 286. So everybody was hoping over here for a breakdown, right? And this level that we see over here is this level over here. And then at a certain point, they soaked into the support. You see over here, around 35,000, they soaked. And then support came, support held, reclaim over here. And look at volume that came. This volume came, and it was, first of all, a perfect sweep of that 320, which was the previous resistance over here. And then it swept over here. Look, this big push to the upside around 340. So mega extension and then failed. You have to make the same process of what we did previously. And by the way, right now I have a signal on Amazon, but hard for me to explain 10 things at the same time. So I want to just like focus on Cedar right now. I'm going to look at the daily with you traders. And these are some of the levels, okay, that we can put over here. So I'm going to put all these levels on my chart because these levels will be back in play. And I'm not going to put them all. I did this already on my brokers. But over here you can see a beaten down stock, a stock that has a ton of over here had resistance, bag holders. But a point this morning we had everything for looking for those long dips over here. Now the 5 minutes over here is uptrending strong. The 1 minute over here is still uptrending strong. I don't really see any reason now that I will be looking for a short. So I'm simply waiting for my opportunities to get long. And we will be looking right now, being that I think this is a good momentum stocks. A lot of these stocks went 120, 200% in a day. Okay, we're going to look for reading over here the order flow together, looking for those spots of, we say, reversals together. So CDU, the next main level of resistance besides 340 is 360. And the next after is $4. So I'm looking at the daily and 4-hour chart. Okay. So you can see we have buyers, sellers, still buyers over here. It came to the white, while this came to the red. Yeah. Together. Breakdown in the meantime of ebook. They're trying to push again to that 328. And all morning, this 328 over here, you see the absorption 328 traders. All morning we had sellers, this 328. All morning over here, you can see, right? And then once they clear out, you can see the sweep over here, big push to 340 went simply parabolic.
Yeah, Joseph, the sweeps indicator It's really interesting. Like now we have three different indicators that are showing many of the same things. We have the
Mhm.
stops indicator, sweeps indicator,
Mhm.
and the liquidation indicator for
Liquidation.
crypto.
Yeah.
They're all basically showing people that were short that are getting, well, either stopped out very, very quickly or liquidated.
Hmm. Hmm.
Their position, I mean, is they needed to buy it back and very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. In case of liquidation, we have, the margin call traders. So I
So
think that is a very good reason.
yeah, I mean, like we don't know in stocks. We just know that there's a book sweep. But typically, a book sweep is very indicative of a stop run, as well as a and or liquidation events.
Mhm. And what I like and don't like about this stock, I don't like the fact that if you long at the breakouts, like at this level of here, 330, will be probably be underwater very fast. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have that stuff into that 330. Okay. So I'm simply not touching this short right now, nor long right now. Where I'm looking to buy this, I'm looking to buy this, for example, on a fake breakdown, the VWAP over here around 299. And if we reclaim this VWAP right away fast, I'm going to long this. Okay. Big long consolidation right now. And again, we are in a wedge scenario. So this stock traders has a 7 million float. It already traded 47 million. All right. And it's just like 1030. Still holding the pre-market high. So as I wrote over here from gap and extension right up corner, it transformed in an extension play. So when it's an extension play, I'm looking or for a parabolic short or for a long. So watching over here, the price action. Yeah. Very good. Price is still holding over here, the 310, 315. We're probably looking for the break. It's becoming very tight. So I believe they will take a direction soon. Okay, right now, traders, I'm possibly looking for a break of this level to the downside, as I said, and then buying the curl back up of the VWAP. So I'm looking really for over here breakdown right away, pushing back up. If I see volume over here, then I'm gonna attack it long. Now, can I tell you this is an A+ setup that I would simply trade every single time? No. Okay, this is not an A+ setup. My A+ setup was the pre-market long on this. This is more like a momentum setup, which you have to be very reactive to get these. It's above the red, and this black is above everything. So only up here we can trade it. You see, came right here, worked. And one big, I would say, red flag to short this, besides the high volume, is the SSR. Okay, I don't know if you ever tried to short SSR, but SSR you will need to short on the ask. So often what they're gonna do, they're gonna, I would say, invite you to short the weakness, like over here, as you can see, you see this VWAP, right? So they will invite you to get short on this area. And then what happens? They're gonna probably reclaim if that's their intention, if that's their agenda. So a second over here, we'll put an easier chart so for everybody to read.
That's a really good point, Joseph, about inviting and making it easy to short a stock like this, the SSR, at those areas, and then look at the beautiful stop run, to the upside.
Exactly, exactly. So it's really like they want to trap you because they have their agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really, really nice insight.
Okay, so over here we can see the price section. We can cancel over here. I draw a lot of on my chart traders. I think it's very important. So you can see a lot of structures doing this. It really helps you to identify the levels. Over here you can see this is all the absorption that we had in this area here, 285. And I mean, this is a beautiful, really beautiful pattern for us, where we start looking then for a reclaim over here for a long. So now seems like they're gonna break this level over here. Remember, this is the pre-market high, this 291. It seems they're gonna break it. Let's see if they're gonna break it, and if we're gonna break down and then reclaim and break this VWAP and trend line to the upside, I'm going to long. All right, so I'm already explaining what I'm going to do. And if it doesn't happen, it's fine. It's fine. So it's curling down. Look over here, Bruce. Curling down. So they're selling into this level over here, 304, right? But it's a typical way on SSR to trigger on purpose these, all right? Like it happened over here before. Now, sometimes they're gonna wash it, and at that moment, of course, we're not gonna long it. Sometimes they're instead gonna trigger on purpose breakdown, that's support, VWAP, and then push it back up. The same thing happens on the big caps. The same thing happens over here in the future. You see the sweep over here? So let's look if we can have a possible curl up. Maybe I'll look over here, see this. So 295, 293. So for now, we have a break. Previous support was 288 holding. I'm not buying over here this washout because I don't see that good amount of support as I would need to see in order for me to long. Okay, so now we're testing that pre-market low, pre-market high, pardon. We have a dip over here to 85. That was a previous support. So you see sellers right now. Okay, at this point, we can have like a bounce over here above 290. Let's see if we're going to have like a shift between supply and demand. Still no heat map over here. You can see they try to reclaim over here the 288. We have support 280 over here. Level of support is this one over here. $290, so a little bit of bounce. Again, it's an important level, right? It's an important level. They generally tend to reclaim it and push it back up. Let's look over here. Resistance over here, 290. This is the pre-market high. You'll see still those buyers jumping in. If it cracks over here, 285 may wash. Now they're bouncing 290. You can see over here still some buyers. We have no dilution on this stock.
Yeah.
You were test over here. It's a lateral scenario. Just patience around right now, traders. 285. Okay. That's the previous level of support. So now they cracked that level of support. And now if we confirm and we hold below this 290, then this is going to unwind to this previous support around 266, 270, which on Bookmap, we can see that as the low of this micro support, sorry. And then below we have really nothing for now. We don't have like huge amount of liquidity at the moment. over here on the support. In the meantime, ebook is still fading over here. You can see the amount of sellers that we have. So this moment here is where we shorted between 335 and 350s.
This is cool.
Yeah. Let's say for a possible re-add into the 305, 310 over here, like this is the previous demand zone. So if we can reject this level and re-add the partial to our trade, short. So I'm looking for that push into this small liquidity area here between 305 and 310. No ads over here. Was waiting a little bit higher. Go back to CEDU. If CEDU won't move more over here, now it's slowly unwinding. You can also check the big caps. All right, let's look at our CEDU over here. So this is my playlist for the morning. So these are the levels that we had. This is my 4-hour chart. All right, let's change right now and start looking at something different. So Tesla. Anybody trades Tesla over here? All right, so first of all, I'm going to review with you what the market is doing. We're going to put 90 days and 4-hour chart on Tesla. These are my levels. So Tesla this morning is in consolidation. My strategy told me we would have a possible bounce to 685, 690. We had a bounce. I didn't trade it long nor short because we are still in this range over here. It is downtrending on the long term over here, but it's bouncing and sideways the last 2 days after this fake breakdown yesterday. Right now, I'm simply waiting. So my point is to have patience today, waiting for 2 p.m. FOMC. Let's put over here 2 days and 1 minute chart. Okay. And I want to see then a direction in order for me to start taking any trades, right? So you can see my trend line over here. We got almost to this trend line. I was looking 687, we got 685. Now it's inside range at the open level almost. So really no trade at this point. The other one I'm watching is Amazon. So we have an uptrending stock for the day, counter trend on the long term. So no point for me to take this long as well. We had Meta, Fader, nice rejection over here into high liquidity area. At this previous resistance over here, 685. This is one of the setup that I like the most. We have a downtrending stock, previous resistance over here, so resistance over here, big over here rejection. This is a beautiful setup to take some, grab some short. Okay, so level over here, rejection into a high liquidity area, level over here. So right now, Meta is the one that is fading the most over here. We have a support of 164, and we're still inside the previous day range. Yesterday range had the low at 161 and 40. We continue to have sellers over here on our tape. Just having patience over here. Just having patience. So very nice how these bookmap levels are working. So look over here. When you ask me, Jay, we see a rejection, should we take it? Right? Of course, I need first of all the main scenario, the main environment that over here is not respecting this case. For me, this is mostly a scalping scenario, right? Because the 4 hours, the 1 hour, the daily are not confirming the bearishness of this setup. While we had, for example, on Friday, while we had, for example, on Monday, and the same thing is with yes. But on the other hand, the stock is fading today. So for scalpers, for fast momentum traders, we had a lot of resistance jumping in at these levels, 165 and over here 164 and 30. So you can have those, I would say, scalp trades, for a small profit or even a hit and run. This was you were in, but I cannot do this because the support is over here, right?
Joseph, no, just a question here. We've got this one guy, Jack, on YouTube, and he's and this is the internet. It's free, which is we're doing this as a service. But and I don't want to have to apply to everyone that comes in on every whim that tries to discredit the traders or the content here. However, I just want to mention that we have seen many times over, and maybe you want to cover this since this is FOMC day, about the data that you have behind your trades, the intensive studies that you've done that make up your setups, and that you trade every day. I mean, you're basically going over these as well here. You're just not seeing anything that's A plus. We have FOMC later today, etc. I just want to address this in general. There's a lot of new traders in here. They may not know who you are or have seen you trade before. And maybe later in the presentation, if you want to go over some of the data or some of the setups that you have with the very objective information or data that you have. I mean, it's up to you, but just a suggestion there that it's very, very compelling that you have that. And if someone wants to be a trader, this is what they need to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I will continue over here to analyze the market and see for about another 10-15 minutes if we have any setups. If not, we can. Oh, sorry, we can traders. Another 10-15 minutes if we have any setups. If not, we can review some setups together. But one of the, I would say, most important things over here would be looking at the work we've done during the years and the podcasts and the setups. And then, of course, anybody can really think what he prefers. Life is free and the word is free. So, but what we're trading is based on a systematic approach of trading analysis together with order flow coming from a manual with certain setups.
Yeah, I mean, like your pullbacks to moving averages and levels of liquidity is golden. You've been trading it for years. Also, your fades back to your moving averages is golden. We've seen you do it 1,000 times, and we've seen you just make tens of thousands of dollars as well. It's a general comment. I mean, there's a worthy comment to say that well, someone that is new in here and they're not quite following along, to maybe just give a little bit of background to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, Bruce, you should always put like a filter for spam because that's normal.
Well, I mean, I can understand people coming in and there's so much information out here, and a lot of it is really, really horrible. I think your trading styles and your information is extremely objective and very simple and very straightforward, and you know exactly what you're doing. And it's because you've done your back testing and your studying. And that's exactly what any trader needs to do.
Yeah. But anyways, doesn't matter. Let's look at the price action over here together on Meta. This is our trend right now, and you can see traders' level of liquidity downtrend. So we're still looking for this trend break over here. And if yes, we'll confirm trend break on Meta, Tesla, everything. Then I'm going to look for a possible short scenario. For now, I'm not really trading this market. I took one scalp for the whole morning on big caps. Simply no, I would say, any A+ setup to trade. So sideways action. Nice rejection over here. So we'll see if we're gonna cover something maybe before the end of the session. But thanks everybody to put also great comments and get in the room and learn. And it's always positive to have a feedback.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry to kind of throw you off your game, Joseph. That's not my intent. It's just that there's some very objective things that you go through in your trading plan, in your trading style. One of them, for example, is you said, like, there's nothing to do here except wait. That's golden. Exactly. That's golden right there. That keeps you out of trades instead of people hitting the button. And that's just one example. So I don't mean to throw you off your game. I mean to for you to explain more of your game, in fact.
Absolutely. Is the same thing I said this morning. Besides two stocks within small cap land, I said there's no really clear A plus setup scenario, even because at 2 we have the FOMC. So I remember like a couple of weeks, no, maybe a couple of months ago, it was always on Wednesday, and it happened the same thing. And we were saying, okay, today is not really the best day of the week. In this case, for the news coming out, the data coming out to trade. But I mean, it's still good to and important to read these levels over here. I think that's useful for traders to understand how you make the plan, how is the process. So that's great. That's great. So over here
Absolutely.
in this case, traders, we have over here a double bottom at this level here, 164, 165. So they're clearing out some liquidity. Over here, we have a big soak. You can see 200, around 200, 22K, sorry, 22K. Right away is starting to reject. So I'm going to see if they're going to hold over here the level, or it's going to do just like before. It's going to start to over here dip and wash. In this case, they're pushing. Bars coming in. And always remember the work you have to do. Goal, be specific. Plan, strategy. Obstacles, how to overcome. Consistency, routine, habits, mindset. And this is the path of a trader. So when you have a goal, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. When you have a plan, is a strategy. So a strategy means you have to back test with files, data, stats, whatever you trade. That's the reason why, for example, there are some apps out there, very important, that they make you, they show you the results of your trading based on the setups you're trading. Also, one of the main characteristics of a trader around right now, Trader 2022, is backtesting all the data that you have. For example, let's say you trade small caps, you're going to look for those gaps, the stats, the time it extends, how much it fades. That's the reason, for example, why I'm using like data over here, stats, and then I do my back testing. If I go over here in history and I start looking at all these stocks over here, I can filter for more than 500 parameters. So I have like dozen and dozen of sheets with all my parameters, and I'm specifically looking for certain setups, certain scenarios. That is systematic trading. When your trading is back tested, and you have all the stats by your side. Then over here, we have obstacles. So for example, this is the first in premise is us, our way, our ego, our emotions, the market itself, and how to overcome, taking one thing at a time, improving every single day, keeping like a diary, like a notebook where you have like basically written there all your, I would say, your struggles, also how to overcome. So put a plan over here, how to overcome your obstacles, and then consistency. That is created through all these things together. So having a goal, having a plan, overcoming obstacles, having a routine, form habits, and that forms a strong mindset. So all these things together are necessary for a trader to become successful. And this, I mean, not everybody is able to do this. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but of course you can start from today, like doing this and trying to, I would say, improve each one of these categories over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mean, you've learned over the years the simplicity of your setups, knowing exactly what you're looking for, and then having the back testing and the data from each individual trade in an Excel spreadsheet that you've shared with us before, and you know, or shown at least, and saying like, here, look, I know that this is what I have on this setup, on this pullback to moving average, etc. And then what I just love about it is you know exactly what you're looking for. And then also trader psychology, like I always kind of downplay. You always hear, oh, it's all psychology, and it's like, yeah, no, it's not really. I mean, it's like if you did your back testing, you have you have tons of confidence in knowing exactly what you're looking for and how to trade it. That's the trader psychology right there. You don't need to go, oh, well, I don't feel too good today, or
Well, those are important aspects. I mean, like if you don't feel good, if you have something in your life going on, then of course your trading will definitely, get impact. But I also believe that the more, I would say, systematic approach you can keep in your trading, the better your trading can become and be less influenced by emotions. So this means at the end doing less errors. Okay, that's the main point.
yeah, yeah, good point.
So over here we have Meta still sideways over here. Looking at Rev nothing. ebook, I'm still holding short from this area. So right now it's bouncing from our level over here, 290. We're going to see if we can have another 330, ideally into this liquidity area to re-add to our short. Otherwise, I'm looking for more 250, 240 main target today. Right now, what I'm looking is really the price action traders. So if I start seeing over here like more sellers or more buyers, for now we have a low volume on these pops. So for me, it's just like going to re-add. Not enough liquidity to push it for now. Any other question, traders?
Let's see here, just a minute. Yeah, you can't throw JTrader off his game. McLovin, I like that. Yeah, that is true. It's super solid. So no, I think we're all caught up, Joseph. Looking pretty good.
Okay, nothing's moving right now. Let's look at the bigger picture here.
Someone's asking about how you use the sweeps indicator.
Oh, okay. So small caps and big caps. Over here, configure add-ons, sweep indicator. I tend always to have it traders to over here automatic mode. So I let this calculate. Otherwise, you will need one different for every single stock traded. Okay, it really depends on the liquidity the stock has. So for example, this is on a small cap this morning. This was ebook. And I want to show over here the gate. Each time we had in pre-market breakdown of the levels, sweep over here. And then it pop, broke down over here. You see this level of support, broke down, sweep working again. Over here, I would imagine to have also sweep, but probably was it the lower level. Over here happens again. So we have a breakdown, sweep over here. So all these fast washes, right? And then again over here, sweep, and then a breakdown over here, sweep again, sweep, sweep. So breaking of these supports over here, boom. Somebody's triggering stop losses, and then we have this dip again. dip again over here. So that's what I'm looking at each time. So when I'm in a trade and I'm looking to hold the trade, assuming that I'm short, these fuel my thesis to be short, to be holding for a short position. So let's see for another breakdown of the level of here 3. It's amazing this morning, Bruce, the use over here we had with Bookmap at these levels. I mean, simply perfect, 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 perfect. And
Yeah.
this was the main big trade of the day. I mean, we can load on this. So one trade a day is just what you need. Just what you need over here. This is from today. EVOC started 340, loaded the ball short on EVOC 350, called it 1003, loaded short on EVOC, buy chances. Traders taking the trade, and now we're holding for all the way down. So we had a breakdown of this level. Let's see if we can get more 290. It's very slow right now, so we don't have those big flushes that I like. Let's see if we're gonna break this $3 area.
We have multiple requests here from Nano for Solano as well.
This morning, I was looking at Bitcoin, and over here we can use even Bookmap data. Let's see, Sol USD.
We may not support that one, Joseph. I'm not sure.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
Okay. Anyways, coming to Solana traders, you cannot trade crypto if you don't have, for example, BTC in as your guide. It's like trading big caps, tech stocks, but without trading, without looking at ES. So over here we have a main level of demand into the 19,500, and then another one in the 12,000 over here. At this point over here, between 18 and 1920 on Bitcoin, if we start seeing a bounce, then I'm going to look for a reversal with intraday patterns. And then I will look personally. So don't follow me. This is what I'm going to do. Solana, Polkadot, Chainlink. Those are the three main, I would say, coins that I'm looking at. So if we see over here, this is the price action. We say perfect. So if you have, for example, KuCoin, Bitcoin, Kraken futures, all of these setups over here were perfect shorts that our system gave us. So I'm actually working over here on an algo that trades me this automatically. So all of these levels that you see over here are shorts that you can take on futures, Bitcoin in this case. I'm looking at Sol, but when I'm looking at Sol over here, USD, I will stay with a higher time frame. So I will be looking more into an hourly chart. And again, the same exact price action. What is most important over here to observe? So start looking and comparing, for example, BTC USD. So when I have bounces, how the bounces happen and for how much over here on Sol. So start looking for those because over here we got to the main previous support area. So if Bitcoin will start like bouncing, and I will start looking for these patterns over here, then Sol could become very, I would say, very good for a trade. Of course, you have also to measure the risk of your investment. So always do your, I would say, analysis. Look at your risk trading these coins. Remember, this is still a good one. So we're talking about the first 20 coins around. But if you start digging into very small coins, I won't say the word, but basically they're called shit coins. 90% of them, they will tend to go to zero. Okay, so be careful really what you're buying. We were at 60, Bruce, and I was saying not to buy Bitcoin. We were at 40, and my system was telling me not to buy Bitcoin because we wanted to look for 28. We were going to the 30, my system was saying let's wait for 20. I started this morning buy something into the 19 on BTC year, but just like a feeler, a 5% position. So in the next probably weeks, months, if I see a consolidation, if I see my system really give me, it's an algorithm in this case for the swing, it's giving me like really entry timing, then I will start buying my position for a bounce over here. But this is just like my personal trading. So EVOC. Still holding these traders, and this will be probably the only stock that I will be interested in holding today for a short. No buyers right now. Big sellers each time we pop. Perfect fader, low volume. Just holding it. CETU is still not done over here, so holding that's 280. Would love to see a midday consolidation on CETU, and then more push to the upside. Right now we are holding this main area over here of demand. So this is a weekly strong level of here of demand. With a micro support around 270, we're below that pre-market high. I have no position over here. what I'm looking is two things right now, or a possible reclaim of this area, consolidation, and then looking for afternoon long. So this could be a good setup for me to long. And for now, not looking really too short over here, weakness on SSR. I'm seeing too many traders getting burned. Yeah, just waiting over here.
So when do you look for shorting SSR stocks?
Only on huge extensions on stuffs. I was looking this morning, the 360, I didn't have that level hit, so I didn't join over here short. I had a B setup to short, so with lower size, but this was the moment that I was connecting with two traders. So I had a long over here and then a short setup over here. For the morning, we only took long from this level over here, 260, until this high over here, 290. We took that long over there. And then over here with the secondary push, sorry, this was the long we took. We took it long over here, then secondary push over here to the upside, and then over here, third push. So 1-3 moves we had. Now it's pulling back. This really, Bruce, gives an idea over here, holding by 11 o'clock, just as mid-range. This is a fib area. Just at the J lines, there's a high chance afternoon we're going to have a push to the upside. So careful traders if volume comes in, because this could get us even to 360 today. If it fails, I don't care. My stats tell me there's high possibility of squeeze today.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Joseph. Like, I think
squeeze is possible with a reclaim of 290 with volume. Waiting for those levels, or simply nothing for now, just like no trade for me.
Yeah, and then going with the squeeze. If you want to go short on these kinds of stocks, you have to wait for everyone else to get stopped out and squeezed for you to allow to pick it up.
Yeah, you never want to be early in shorting these things when they go up, because if you catch the front side over here on SSR, it can really hurt you bad. So you have to wait for toppings. Generally, I don't suggest beginners to trade short front side, only if you have a particular solid level and some, for example, big stuffing, soaking, using order flow. It's possible. Otherwise, you simply have to wait. I'm gonna check over here the stats again on Jtrade. So this is SAR. Which is in perfect range with today. Meanwhile, we have Tesla over here, just showing a little bit of strength, but not really entering before the dot of today. If I'm gonna enter today on big caps, my big cap setups are paying 82% from the start of the year with 4 R profit ratio. I share my stats in the room and always the month. And I'm waiting just between 2 and 3 trades per week. So I have really no intention over here to jump in for B setup or a C setup, something that is not part of my trading. So I'm just simply waiting, patient. That's one of the most important attitudes a trader has to have.
Yeah, that was something that really caught my attention. I don't know, a couple of years ago, when you had mentioned like, oh yeah, I trade futures. I trade the big caps, but I only get 2 to 3 setups, maybe four a week, and that fit my strategies. And therefore, you started trading the small caps because those do meet the strategies every day. You're going to find something out of all these stocks. But again, like very specific strategy, very specific way of trading, and then waiting for your setup to match these any of these instruments.
Exactly. If you don't have stats, then it's just like talking and not really having the numbers to, I would say, give you the confirmation, consistency, and confidence in your trading. So stats are the first thing. All right, Bruce. So 11:30. Think we covered some very good stuff today. Market, okay, was not moving, but still a good trade on ebook. We explained the scenario. We explained the price action on CDU. We went over the main features of a traders to have. And also we explained how to look for reversal points and using the higher time frame charts. As for example, we're making analysis on small caps at the starting of our streaming. So I think we covered some good stuff. Thank you for the great comments, traders. Look back in our 2016, 17, 18, also on Jtraderco YouTube channel. Come join us in the room. You can see yourself what we're doing. Been mentoring more than 1,000 traders in the last 5 years. 15 of these traders now work as head traders at prop firms and firms. So pretty good work we're doing with Bruce over here to give you free content. Always feel free to reach out to us. Follow us, give us a thumb up for the YouTube video for Bookmap because it's doing this free for you traders to grow. And again, reach out us anytime you need. And thank you very much. See you next week. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bookmap, and see you, everybody.
Thank you, Joseph.